Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video tutorial, I will explain how to create a CRUD operation, create, read, update and delete functionality in Django REST Framework using mixins. And here we got the final output of our application. Notice when I run this application, we got the get method and post method. Let's insert, adding the student ID 2 again. Student name is ben@gmail.com and student mobile is 4567. Click post. See here, Barry accept, which means the record has been inserted successfully. Let's check in our database. Click browse. So here we got to Ben. Now let's insert, let's modify here. To modify, the path is student, we have given student to enter. Here we got the student details of the Ben, and notice here we got put method to change this Ben details. I'm changing from Ben to Ben King. The mobile is 000. Click put. So the record has been saved successfully. When I reload the browser, see here the student Ben details has been successfully updated. Now let's delete this Ben record. Here we got the button control. Click delete button. Are you sure you want to delete this student update del? Click del. See, the record has been deleted successfully. Let's check in our database. Click reload the table. Click browse. See, there is no Ben record in our table. That's it. We have implemented the CRUD functionality in Django REST Framework using mixins. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. Before creating a new Django REST Framework application, first we'll check the table in MySQL PHP MyAdmin database. The table name is a student which contains 4 columns: student ID, which is the auto-generated column, student name, student email and mobile number of the student. Right now this student table contains only one record. Now my aim is I want to create the CRUD functionality to insert a record, update the record and delete the record from this table using Django REST Framework with mixins functionality. Before creating a new Django web application, first we create a new folder. So I'm creating a new folder in this E drive. Right click the mouse, click new, select folder, and the folder name is CRUD REST Framework, REST FM, REST Framework and mixins. Let's browse this folder. Right now this folder is empty. We'll create a new Django REST Framework web application in this folder. I'm using Visual Studio Code to create a Django REST Framework. First, before creating a new Django REST web application, we'll add our folder name which we have created in the E drive. Go to File and select Open Folder. The folder name is in the E drive, the CRUD REST FM mixins. I have selected the folder name, then click Select Folder button. And the folder is successfully added to our Visual Studio Explorer panel. At the right side, we got the welcome page. Let's close this welcome page. Now let's create a new Django web application in this folder. For that, go to View and select Terminal. And here we got our terminal, which is nothing but a PowerShell or command prompt. And also notice the path is the E drive. This is our folder name. Now I'm creating a new application in this folder. So to create an application, Django-admin start project, and the project name is CRUD mixins. Enter. CRUD mixins is my application name, and if you notice here, the application is created successfully. Let me expand this application. In this application, there is one subfolder with the same project name and one manage.py. Let me allow to expand this subfolder also. Now in this subfolder contains some default Python files which are settings.py, urls.py. All these files and folders has been created automatically when I create this project CRUD mixins. So after we're creating the project in this folder. Next we'll write the coding part. I'm selecting the subfolder, right click the mouse. Let's add a new file called models.py. So models.py, enter. And here we got our models.py page. In this models.py page contains only the properties and the table name. So before that, let's import the models class from django.dd import models. After that we'll add called class student model. The class name is models.model colon. Let's add the properties. If you check in our table, we have 4 columns. So first let's add the student ID, the property name, models dot integer field, and this column is a primary key is equals to true. After that we'll add the student name, models dot char field. Let's add the length also, max underscore length is equals to 100. The third property is the student email. So student email is equals to models dot char field, the data type is, and max underscore length is equals to 100. Now the last property is the student mobile. Let's check the column name, stm mobile is equals to models dot integer field. So after that I'm adding one more class called meta class. Now in this meta class I'm adding my table name. Between these double quotes I'm adding the table name, which is a student. Let's copy that one and paste here. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. So after creating the models page, next we require the serializer of this models object. So again, right click the subfolder, click new file. The file name is a serialize.py. In the serialize.py, first let's import the necessary classes from. First I'm importing the models class. So my project name dot models, my models page name is inside this application. Import the model name is a student model. Next we require the serializers class also. So let's import that one also from REST framework import serializers. Now let's define a class called student serializer is a class name of the serialize, and serializers dot model serializer colon. Now here I'm defining another class called meta class. This meta class contains the model name. The model is equals to, the model name is a student model, and the fields also from this model class is equals to, between double quotes I'm adding underscore all the fields I'm accessing from this model class, student model class. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. Now let's add the views page. In this subfolder, right click the subfolder, click new file. The file name is a views.py, enter. And here we got our views.py page. Now in this views page contains the actual logic to create the APIs, create, update, delete functionalities. But before that, we'll import the necessary classes. First we'll import the models class from. The models class is inside CRUD mixins, my application name.models import student model. Then I'm importing the serializer also dot student serializer import student serializer class name. Now here I'm implementing the mixins functionality to create the CRUD operations. So let's define class called student mixins student get insert is a function name, is a class name, sorry, is a class name which contains, we require the mixins here. So from REST framework import mixins, comma, and also we require the generics also. Generics to view our APIs. So in this class I'm adding mixins dot, first one is I want to display all the records from the table, so we require the list model mixin, and second one mixins, and the second parameter for to create the object, to create a new student records, comma. Now we require the generics dot generic API view. In mixins there is two important classes we need to define. First one is a query set. Query set is equals to, here I'll write the query set student method, student model, my class name dot objects dot all method. Then I'm adding the serializer class also to access the student serializer. So these two steps are very important. Make sure give the query set and serializer class. After that, now we'll define the functions. Def get method. Get method is to get the records from the table. Self properties. This get method takes two parameters, self and request, colon. Now here simply I'm returning the values, return self dot, I'm adding the list method. So I want to display the list method. This list method is from this list model mixin class. Request, I'm requesting. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. Now before adding the post, get, update and delete functionality, we'll check this get functionality is working or not. Get API functionality is working or not. Go to URLs. Let's give the path here, from dot import views. Now in the URL patterns, let's add the path. I'm not adding anything in the single quote. So this path is our default path of the application. Views dot, here I'm adding my class name of the mixins dot as underscore view method. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. Now let's configure the settings.py. Open that one. First in the settings.py, let's install our applications between single quotes. The first application is REST underscore framework, comma, and the second one is our application name. My application name is CRUD mixins. Copy this one and paste here. After that, come to the bottom. Notice in this database section, the default database engine is the SQLite 3, but our database is MySQL. Let's add that one and delete this default database name. We'll add our database name. If we check in our database, I have created this student table in this lion database. So let's add the database name is a lion, and let's add the user, the credentials. The username is a root, and I require the password also. Password. Here the password I'm leaving blank because I don't have any password to log into my PHP my admin database. If you have any password, please enter between these single quotes. The next attribute I require the host also. The host is a local host. And we require the port number of our database. To find the port number of our MySQL database is here 3308. My port number is 3308. Here we require one more column, comma, and we require the options here, options between curly brackets. Let's add the init underscore command, initialize the command, colon between double quotes set. I am adding my SQL mode is equals to between single quotes strict underscore trans underscore tables. That's and with the comma here. That's it. We have configured the database MySQL configuration in this settings.py. Let's save this file. Now let's run the server. Switch to the terminal. Before run the server, we need to add our application name to this path. So cd, I'm adding my application name, enter. Now let's run the server. Python manage.py. To run the server, we need to add manage.py. Run server, enter. See, after I run the server, we don't have any issues in our application. Below is our web server link. Let's browse that one. Control plus mouse click. See, here we got the output of the API, get API. Right now we have only one record, which is Charan. Here the record has been displayed. Now let's implement the post API also. Go to views. So in the same student get insert mixins. Let's define another function called def. To insert the record, we need to add post method, self, request, colon, return, self dot. Here I am adding create function, create method. This create method belongs to this create model mixin class. So in this I am adding request. This request I am adding here. That's it. Let's save this file. I don't require to add anything in this URLs because I have created the post method in the same class name. So after I save the file, we don't have any issues. Here I already opened our browser API. Notice when I reload this browser, I'll get the post functionality also. See here at the bottom we got the post functionality. So now the student number 2, student ID is 2, Jack ja@yahoo.com, and his mobile name is 893456 0. Click post. See here the student value accepted, student ID 2, Jack is successfully inserted. Let's check in our database. Right now the student table contains only one record, Charan. Let's browse this table. See here we got the Jack details. See how simple it is to create the CRUD functionality using mixins with the help of 2 steps. Now we require the get, put and destroy, delete functionality also. So for that we require another class called student update, update, and del is a mixin name, class name. Mixins, just like what we have added here, the list model mixin class to get all the details, but here to update the record we require only a particular selected student record. So we retrieve model mixin class. After that we'll update mixins dot update model mixins. Then we require mixins, the last one, the class name is a destroy model mixin. After that we require the generics dot generic API view colon. Now let's copy this thing. We require this functionality here also. Copy this one. Let's def. Now to retrieve a record, a selected student record, we use get method get. If you notice the first class mixins, we got only get 2 properties in this get method, but here we have 3 properties: self, request and pk also, primary key. Return self dot, I am adding retrieve function request. This retrieve function belongs to this retrieve model mixin class. Request comma, I'm adding pk, primary key. I want to get a particular selected record of the student. So this retrieve function belongs to this class retrieve model mixin class. So let's save this file, save all, go to URLs. We need to add the path here between single quotes. Here I'm adding the student dot int colon pk comma views dot, let's add our the class name student update del, just like the student get insert. Here we are adding student update del dot as underscore view method. We need to add comma here, otherwise we'll get an error. Let's save this file, save all, and we don't need to change anything in the settings because we have already done. Now after save this file, we don't have any issues. Now let's copy this one student, because this is our path right now to update to get the particular employee record. If you notice, in our table we have two records. If I click one here, see here we got student 1 details, get student 1. If I click 2 here, we got the student details 2. Now let's update, go to views, to update the record def, we use put function self request comma pk colon return self dot update method update request dot pk. This update method belongs to this update model mixin class. Let's save this file, save all. See, after save here the spelling mistake request. Let's save this file, save all. We don't have any issues. Let's add the del functionality also. Def put, let's not put, it's a delete functionality. Delete self request comma pk colon return self dot. We need to add the destroy class, destroy method, destroy destroy request comma pk. That's it. We have done the complete coding part. In this views page, we have created the get post to update the record and delete the record. Let's save this file again, save all. So after we save the file, we don't have any issues. Let's reload the browser. Notice now we don't have any put functionality here to update this student ID 2. Now when I reload this browser, see here we got the student ID details because we have written the get method. Now here we got the put functionality. Here I'm changing the Jack Sparrow. The name, student name is Jack Sparrow. Instead of Yahoo, I'm adding gmail.com, and the student mobile number I'm changing to 123. Notice when I click the put button, the records will be changed. Click put. Oops, here we got an error. Request no picture. Let's fix this one. So here the put, it's not dot, it's comma here. Let's save this file, save all. Now we'll reload the browser again. Now the student name is Jack Sparrow. Let's change the student email, gmail.com, and the student mobile I want to change to 123. Now let's modify, update this record Jack. Click put. See here, the student name is Jack Sparrow, email ID and student mobile. Let's check in our database. Right now this is a Jack records. When I reload this table, click browse, See, we got the Jack Sparrow and email ID. And also if you notice, here we got the delete button also, because we have written the code, the delete functionality. So now I want to delete this student ID 2, click delete. Are you sure you want to delete this student update del? Click del. The record has been deleted successfully. Now check here. Right now we have 2 tables in our table. When I click browse, see, the record has been deleted successfully. And here we got the final output of our application. Notice when I run this application, we got the get method and post method. Let's insert. We have already deleted the one record. We have already deleted a record, that student ID 2. Here I'm adding the student ID 2 again. Student name is ben@gmail.com and student mobile is 4567. Click post. See here, vary accept, which means the record has been inserted successfully. Let's check in our database. Click browse. So here we got to Ben. Now let's insert, let's modify here. To modify, the path is student. We have given student to enter. Here we got the student details of the Ben, and notice here we got put method to change this Ben details. I'm changing from Ben to Ben King. The mobile is 000. Click put. So the record has been saved successfully. When I reload the browser, see here we got the student Ben details has been successfully inserted, updated. See here the student Ben details has been successfully updated. Now let's delete this Ben record. Here we got the button control. Click delete button. Are you sure you want to delete this student update del? Click del. See, it's been deleted successfully. See, the record has been deleted successfully. Let's check in our database. Click reload the table, click browse. See, there is no Ben record in our table. That's it. We have implemented the CRUD functionality in Django REST Framework using mixins.